Hello all. In today's class, I'm going to discuss about break, continue and go to statement. Break and continue statement is also called as looping control statement, and go to, it is used to alter the normal sequence of execution. Okay. So we'll start with the break statement. As I told, break is one of the looping control statement. We know the looping statement three different types, that is for loop, while loop and do while loop. Okay. If I want to terminate any looping statement in between while executing the looping statement, okay, I can make use of break statement. I can make use of break. Break, it is used to terminate the looping statement. That is, it may be while loop, for loop or do while loop. Okay. Generally, before executing break, we'll check some condition. If that condition is met, we can include the keyword called break. Once the normal sequence of execute this break, it will come out of the particular loop itself. Okay. So break, it's a looping control statement. It is used to terminate the loop. Break statement not only used in the looping statement, it will also used in the switch. Okay. Switch is a multi-way decisional statement. It has some n number of cases. Okay. In order to terminate the particular case or every case, we need to make use of break statement at the end of every case. So break can be used as looping control statement as well as terminator for the cases in the switch. Okay. This is the syntax of the break statement. We have loop statement. It can be while loop, for loop or do while loop. Okay. Inside that we'll have some conditions. These three dots will be replaced with some condition, followed by, if that condition is true, we may include the keyword called break. Okay. Once the compiler or once the executor execute this break statement, it will come out of this loop itself. Okay. Once the sequence of execution execute this break statement, complete loop will be terminated and it will come out of the loop. Execution will come out of the loop. Okay. You can check it in the program. I initialize the value with a is equal to 20. Okay, and I'm checking whether a is lesser than or equal to lesser than 20. Okay, we have a 10. So obviously 10 is lesser than 20. Okay, if it is true, I'm just printing that value. So value is 10. Okay, and every time printing, also incrementing the value of a. So from 10, it will become 11. A will be increased by 1. Okay, so it will keep on executing. But I'm checking one more condition inside the while loop. If a becomes greater than 15, if a becomes greater than 15, I'm executing break statement. Okay. Once this condition becomes true, break, it will terminate the complete while loop. Okay. Based on this value, the while loop should execute for 10 times. But once a reaches 16, which is greater than 15, it will execute break statement. So complete loop will get terminated. You can see the output. Okay, here it is printing from 10 to 15. Once a value becomes 16, 16 is lesser than 20. Okay, condition is true. Again, it will check for one more condition whether 16 is greater than 15. Condition is true. Okay, since condition is true, it will terminate. It won't continue further. Okay. We have another looping control statement, that is continue. In order to understand this continue, we should know what is iteration. Okay, if I say I is equal to 0 and I lesser than 10, so it means the execution will take place when the I value 0 to 9. Okay, I mean that looping statement will execute for 10 times. Okay, so we can say 10 iterations. We can say 10 iteration. When I execute the break statement, it will terminate the complete break itself. Sorry, it will terminate the complete loop itself. But when I execute the continue statement, it will terminate only the current iteration. Assume that when I is equal to 0, I'm executing continue statement. Okay. So continue will skip the remaining part of the loop, that is for I is equal to 3, but it will repeat for I is equal to 4. The looping will normally execute for I is equal to 4. Okay. That is the major difference between break and continue. Continue, it will terminate only the current iteration, that is I is equal to 3, I is equal to 4. Only that iteration will be skipped. Okay. But in case of break, if I execute when I is equal to 3, it will terminate all the remaining iteration, that is from I is equal to 3 to I is equal to 9. All the remaining iteration will be skipped. Okay. So continue is a looping control statement. It is used to skip or stop the current iteration only. Okay, this is an example, same as previous case. If a is equal to 15, instead of while loop I'm using do while loop. There's no much difference in the program. If a is equal to 15, okay, I'm incrementing a one more time, that is a is equal to a plus 1. A will be incremented by 1 whenever a is equal to 15. So a will directly become 16. So 15 will not be printed, here 16 will be directly printed. Here only 15 value is skipped. Okay, this is continue statement. Okay, next go to statement. Normally the C program, okay, the sequence of execution in the C program is statement by statement. Okay, I mean it won't skip any statement. But if I want to alter the normal sequence of program, we can do that by making use of go to statement. Okay, go to is the keyword where label will be replaced with name of the place or name of the statement where control of the execution should take place. Okay, so we will use go to followed by name of that label, I mean some statement line name. Okay, followed by, we need to put that name, whatever the label mentioned in the go to, in front of go to, program should have that label followed by the statements. Okay, whenever the sequence of execution find this go to, it will directly skip all other statement which is present between go to and that particular label. Okay, so label is just an identifier. Okay, when go to statement is encountered, control of the program jumps to the label. Control of the program jumps to the label, I mean sequence of the program will go to that particular label itself. Okay, you can see it from this program. Okay, we have a label named as loop, we have a label named as a loop. Okay, when a is equal to 15, a is equal to 15, I'm incrementing a by 1. Okay, and followed by go to loop. Okay, once I execute this go to loop, it won't continue further, instead it will restart the loop and I will be a value will be start from 16. Okay, it will go back to the loop, that is do loop. Here a will be incremented inside this. If a is equal to 15, if inside that condition, once a becomes 16, I'm executing one more statement, that is go to loop. So execution, instead of moving forward, it will go back to the label loop, that is go to. Okay, so based on that, it is not printing the value 15. Okay, we'll see the output of these programs in the code block software. Okay, first we'll see the example for break and continue. We'll see the example continue first. Okay, as I told, continue, it's a looping control statement. It is used to skip only the current iteration. Here I'm checking for the iteration I is equal to 4. The iterations will be from 0 to 9. Okay, when I becomes 4 specifically, okay, I'm executing continue statement. Once it execute the continue, it won't continue further, instead it will go back to the for loop. Okay, so when I is equal to 0, I'm checking one more condition, that is I is equal to 4. Condition will be false, it will go to the printf statement, it will print 0. Okay, 1 will be printed, 2 will be printed, 3 will be printed. But when I is equal to 4, it will check the condition 4 is lesser than 10, condition is true. But here one more condition is becoming true, that is I is equal to 4. In that case, it will enter this block, inner if block, and it will execute continue. So once it execute the continue, the control sequence of execution will not go further, instead it will go back, it will skip this current iteration and it will go back to the for loop. Here I will get incremented by 1. Okay, let's see the output. As I told, continue will skip only the current iteration. When I is equal to 4, we are executing continue, so it won't print the value 4. You can see it from the output. 0, 1, 2, 3 is printed, but 4 is skipped. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is there. Okay, what happens if I change that continue into break statement? If I change that continue statement into break, okay, let me change that. As we know that break is also looping control statement. When certain condition is met, here the condition is I is equal to 4. When I becomes 4, I'm terminating the complete loop itself. Okay, from 0 to 3, there's no problem, it will be printed. I value will be printed. Once I becomes 4, the condition is true, I'm executing break statement. Once I execute the break, it won't skip the current iteration, instead it will coming out of the loop itself. So entire loop will get terminated. If entire loop will get terminated starting from 4, no other number will be printed. Okay, let's check the output for that. Okay, you can see it from the output. 0, 1, 2, 3 is printed. Once I becomes 4, the break statement is executed. The break will terminate the complete loop itself. Okay. So break, it is used to terminate the complete loop. Continue, it is used to skip the current iteration or skip only the current iteration. Okay. Now we'll see the output of this goto. Okay. Goto statement, as we know, it is used to alter the normal sequence of execution. Okay. In this program, I'm trying to print the table of the number which I entered from the user. Okay. So I'm taking I is equal to 1. It's the initial declaration. I'm taking one more variable, that is number, which will be read from the console. User has to provide the value for that number. Okay. I'm using printf statement to print some statement. Okay, that is enter the number to print the table. Then I'm reading the value, storing inside the variable called number. Okay. Here I'm labeling some statement. The label is table. Okay. Label is user defined. User can give any name, but it should not be keyword. It should not be keyword like printf, scanf. It should not be like that. So table is just a label. Okay. After that, I'm printing the number which I entered from the user, followed by the current I value. Current I value here in the first time I value will be 1, followed by number into 1. For example, if I enter number is equal to 4, it will print 4, comma I is 1, comma, and result of 4 star 1, that is 4. It will print the first percentage D will be replaced with 4, into will be printed as it is. Second percentage D will be printed with value of I, that is 1 currently, equals the third percentage D will be replaced with 4 into 1. Okay. After printing this 4 into 1 is equal to 4, if I am considering input is 4, I will be incremented. Number will remain same, that is 4 itself. I will become 2. Okay. Then I am checking one condition. If I, that is 2, is lesser than or equal to 10, condition is true. So I'm executing goto statement, goto followed by the label. Okay. So the sequence of execution will go to this particular table. Will go to this particular labeled statement. Okay. This is the statement which is labeled. So execution, instead of terminating, it will go back to the labeled. Okay. So it will print. You may observe before going to that particular label, I value is incremented, I becomes 2. Okay. The input number is still 4 only. Now instead of printing 4 into 1, it will print 4 into 2. Like that it will keep on printing up to 4 into 10. Okay. Once I becomes 11, once I become 11, I is not lesser than or equal to 10. Condition is false. Once the condition is false, next statement will be skipped. Okay. The goto label will be skipped. So it will go to the end of the program. Okay. We'll see the output for this. Okay. If I enter the number 4, it will print the table 4. 4 into 1 to 4 into 10. Once I becomes, this is I, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to 10 is there, this is I, and 4 is number. For that number, I am printing the table. Okay. Once I becomes 11, it won't go back to the label, that is table statement. Okay. Then the execution will be stopped. Okay. Thank you.